a hokkien noodle crawl, tea leaf salad, and mom's amazing gaeng som. This week, we're in Phuket, Thailand.
Traveling the world to bring you delicious dishes, tasty beverages, and interesting experiences. This is the Destination Eat Drink podcast on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
I'm Brent Peterson. Welcome to Destination Eat Drink, the travel podcast for foodies. Destination Eat Drink is for foodies who love to travel and travelers who love to eat. And this time, we're in Phuket, the gorgeous island in Thailand. But first, if you like food and travel, please rate and review the podcast on your podcast app. Really helps the show and helps other foodie travelers find it. And if you're planning a trip to Portugal this year, check out my foodie travel guide to Portugal. It's just $9.99 and covers all the best things to eat and drink in 17 Portuguese cities and towns, including the most characteristic local dishes. Download your copy at buymeacoffee.com/destinationeatdrink. Nam is a foodie travel guide in Phuket, Thailand for a chef's tour at achefstour.com. Nam tells me about visiting the world-famous beaches of Phuket and why venturing beyond the resorts to Phuket City is an absolute must. She shares with me the different cuisines of Thailand and how immigrant groups from China, Burma, and southern Thailand have brought their food and ingredients to Phuket. There's so many delicious dishes to try, including roti, different kinds of curry, and a unique shaved ice. And I'm starving, so let's eat.
Destination Eat Drink.
Nam from a chef's tour in Phuket, Thailand. Welcome to Destination Eat Drink. I can't wait to talk to you about the delicious cuisine of your city.
Hi.
Nam, you're from southern Thailand, but you made Phuket your home. So I think you're uniquely qualified to tell me what it is that makes Phuket such a special and wonderful place.
Hi, yes. Myself, I grew up in another province of Thailand. It's called Pattulung province. It is about, let's say, about 400 kilometers from Phuket. So I moved to Phuket, it actually for a better education because back to my hometown is mostly more like a rubber tree plantations and also like a rice field plantations. So I feel like I'm lazy, so kind of like I don't really want to work in the farm because I grew up working, helping my parents work like very early in the morning before we go to school. And when I first moved to Phuket, I was here with my school trip, with my teachers and with my classmate from school. And then when I get here, I was like, wow, this is so different with back home. There is a lot of things going on, beautiful beaches and mountains and lots of foreigners visit, lots of Farang, and we have zero Farangs of the foreigners back home, which is I love to find differences about the language and other stuff. And also this is there is a lot more thing to do here. So I was like, right, the education is better here, got a good university. And so I decided that when I finished from my high school, I'm gonna move to Phuket, and I did.
Good decision, Nam. I think you hear a lot of this from all over the world, leaving a difficult agricultural community to move to the big city for better opportunities, and that's exactly what you did. Nam, Phuket is recognized by UNESCO as a creative city of gastronomy. What exactly does that mean?
Well, I say like Phuket is a creative city of the gastronomy. I think because of like Phuket is just a mix of the culture. How do you call like a plural society?
A melting pot, a pluralistic society?
Yeah. So in Phuket, the food in Phuket is the cuisine is important. How do you call that? It's like because of the cuisine is an important element in every festival, every ceremonies, beliefs, and the family lifestyles.
I think UNESCO calls it an intangible cultural asset or intangible cultural heritage, which I think is a descriptive way of saying that food and culture are linked together inextricably. They go together, and you can't separate the two. They belong together.
Yeah, so I mean, because of it, Phuket, they said like we are the creative city of the gastronomy. So a lot of people uh actually don't really realize that we have a lot of mix and good food here. So a lot of people are, kind of like coming to the beaches, like beautiful beaches, and relax on the beach. But so our tour, we're trying to bring the people who are foodie people who visiting Phuket and trying to explore about the Phuket Old Town, and also explore about the different food and different cultures around Phuket Old Town here.
Whenever I have a discussion about Southeast Asia or India, places like Vietnam, places like Malaysia, I'm always amazed at the influence from all the different cultures that have made their way to these places. And Phuket seems like another place where there's tons of foreign influence or people who have made Phuket their home, and have brought their food with them. So I'm wondering, can you talk a little bit about some of these groups and how they've influenced your cuisine?
Actually, Brent, the majority of people who living in Phuket Old Town, I'm talking about the town, are the Hokkien people, which is the Hokkien are the people who move from the south of China, from Fujian province, from Xiamen area. They moved here about 120, 150 years ago for the tin mining, which is at that time, they also moving to Penang and also to Singapore, and of course also moved to Phuket as well. So when they come here, they work in a tin mine, and then also when some of the people become like a business owner, and when the business gets success, they need more labor, more people who can work in the tin mining. Then they ask the people directly from the mainland, from Fujian, come directly. And so now a lot of people in town is actually are the Thai Chinese. Yeah, and then we have another group that come here before the Chinese, the Hokkien people arrive, is the Thai Muslim, which is they have a really strong Malayu culture. Malayu is like Malaysian, Indonesian peninsula. Yeah, and so they lived here before, but they usually lived around the coast, because what they used to do, they used to be the fisherman.
Right.
So now the I would say the Hokkien people living in town and the Muslim are living around the coast. Yeah, the other group actually that come here recently, like about 30 to 50 years ago, is people from Burma.
Burmese, yeah.
Yeah, the Burmese people from Burma, which is they come here to work, and mostly now they do work also part like a restaurant, like a local market, which is I would say now they are about probably about 100,000 population from Burma that working in Phuket, which is a local population who registration in Phuket is only about 450,000. Yeah.
Okay. So over 20% are these people from Burma. I wanted to ask you about the Hokkien first, because these folks, they got around. Every time I talk to someone, whether it's Singapore or somewhere in Thailand, they talk about Hokkien people and bringing their delicious cuisine with them. So I have to imagine that the fried noodles, the Hokkien fried noodles, is a popular dish in Phuket.
Oh yes, that is one of the signature dish of Phuket actually.
Tell me about it.
You have not tried it yet, right?
No, I've only heard about it from talking to so many wonderful people in Southeast Asia. And, every time I talk to them, I'm like, I got to get some of that mi pad hokkien.
Yes, the Hokkien noodle is the wheat flour noodle. It's a yellow thick noodle, which is in when they that type of the noodles they actually can cook in a different way. So mostly they are kind of like a stir fry with some of the soy sauce, with some of the oyster sauce, some of the shrimp, seafood, or pork, and then add a bit like vegetables. But sometimes the one that we are going on the tour, our tour food tour in Phuket, we are going to one of like a very unique family recipes, which is he cooked everything separately and put lots of toppings like a pork wonton, pork meat, pork crackling. He put like a shrimp cake, fish cake in there, fish balls in there. The fried shallot is fresh fried shallots every day, and got some peanuts, and then he's seasoning with the sauce, and he's served with the broth, which is making from the shrimp. So usually, the original way we have it, we do like a the dry one, which is we have a bit of broth and mix with the noodles and have it together, which is so good. You make my mouth watering, even if I go there every day.
Is it unusual to have so many different toppings with your noodles like this?
Usually, they use like the toppings or the ingredients that they can find in family in the market, and so the very common toppings that they have is going to be pork, seafood, fish cake, and fish balls. And then if they stir fry, it's gonna be come out with no broth. But then in some family, they make the broth like a pork broth, or this one we go to like a shrimp broth, which is also giving a different flavors. And even if it's just like a one dish, like a Hokkien noodle, if you visit in the different families, they will be serving in a different style, which is a different flavors. It's quite unique. So it's actually very interesting to go have one dish, same dish, but different families.
Yes. Yeah. See, that would be so cool to go like on a Hokkien noodle crawl and just try all the different ones with all the different flavors. Is it unusual to have a wheat noodle base? Because, when you think of Thailand, you would think of rice noodles.
Yes, Phuket is quite unique. The food in Phuket is quite a bit different or quite unique compared to the rest of Thailand because of the Hokkien community. They brought so much the influences. I mean, they have the different language. They have the different food. The language is now like gone. People who living in Phuket, they are not really speaking language, Hokkien language anymore. They speak Thai, but the food is actually stay. So that's making in Phuket. The food, yeah, you're right. The food is very different. The one in Phuket, even the flavors of the food is different. Even I am come from the south, but when I moved to Phuket, I was like, whoa, the same curry is the different flavors from the one that my mom made it for me.
How would it be different? Is it the spices that go into that curry that your mom was making in southern Thailand?
The other province, like the area that I come from, we eat like spicy. I come from Patalung province, so we eat like spicy, salty, sour, sweet. But in Phuket, which is a Hokkien tongue, they say that it's like more like a sweet tongue. So even like for the savory, for the curries, for the noodles, they make it sweeter than other part of Thailand. But not just the sweet flavors. You can also mixing your own flavor because they have another like the vinegar, the chili, but you can also make it in your own flavor to make it on your favorite. But if you just eat it by itself, yeah, you can tell it straight away. It's different. It's more sweet, but it's delicious.
You mentioned your mom's cooking, and everyone knows their mom makes the best food, and they remember their mom's cooking fondly. What were some dishes that your mom used to make when you were growing up that you were especially in love with?
Or if I think where this is very similar with other Southern Thai people. My mom always make me gaeng som. Um, gaeng som is the yellow curry, which is spicy, sour, a bit of salty, and also kind of like a sweet. So this one, we have a word in southern Thailand, like if you cut, if you cut my hand, it's not bleeding like a blood bleeding, it's bleeding out of gaeng som. This yellow curry will come out.
You've got curry in your veins.
So you got to be eat it every other day. So these yellow curry with actually eating in many part of Thailand as well, but just kind of like a different names. In southern Thailand is gaeng som here. They make it more spicy, and then the ingredients that we use is very simple, just like chili, garlic, turmeric. That's just all three, and pound the paste, and then we cook in the tamarind sauce. Add a bit of like a shrimp paste, and then we make it sour. We usually will use the tamarind, or if we don't have the tamarind, we use a lime or other sour fruit. And then we add fish, or you can add with pork, or you can add seafood, and then any type of the vegetables that we have at home. It's also very easy to make. That's why my mom and other families in the South make it very often, I would say.
That I was going to ask, is the yellow curry yellow because of the turmeric? It sounds like that's the reason.
Yes.
You know, you came from southern Thailand to Phuket, and I would imagine there's been a migration from southern Thailand to Phuket. You as a person from southern Thailand, where do you like to go to get some of that comfort food from southern Thailand that you enjoyed as a child? Is there some way that you can get that in Phuket?
Oh, yes. Now, in Phuket, there are a lot of people from all around Thailand actually come here to work here because they are an amount of the tourism, more than 6 million per year. I think this year is actually more just in Phuket. So we need a lot of people who work for the tourism. So there are a lot of people from other part of Thailand, from my hometown, other provinces in the south. They come here, work here, and just stay here. A lot of people just buy the properties and stay here. And of course, when people come here, they also have the restaurant cooked just like for the flavor, exactly the flavor that different southern part of Thailand, or the flavor but that where they come from, which is that's the one that I used to go, is also not far from where I live, and they make it exactly like the one that mom make at home, which is which is a flavor that I grew up with. One thing about gaeng som, I just think about it. This curry that that was rated by one of the website. I think it's called Taste Atlas by last year.
Oh, the
They
Taste
said
Atlas.
it's one of the says
I
that
love
the
Taste
worst.
Atlas. It's a great website. People should go there and look because they cover cuisine from all over the world. But go ahead, Nam.
Yeah, so this one, the one that I like, the one that my mom made, they is on the 12 of the worst food.
No.
But you got to know how to eat it actually. If you just go if you guys just go to soup, and it's not going to be good because the local we don't eat it that way. We actually put a little bit of the sauce mixed with the rice, a bit of vegetable, a bit of meat, and then we eat it. We also have it with the fresh vegetables. So not surprising if people who never don't really get used to it don't like the flavors. Yeah, but anyway.
So there you go. Listen up, Taste Atlas. You got to eat it the right way. You can't be saying it's not good if you haven't eaten it the correct way. All right. I want to go back to you. You mentioned that there's been a influx of migrants from Burma. They sound like they're one of the more recent immigrant groups. What have they brought from a cuisine standpoint to Phuket?
Well, the cuisine of the broth, they have some similar food with us actually. Some of them the khanom jin. So khanom jin, it is the rice flour noodles, but in Burma cuisine, they make a different curries. So our curries is the like a coconut curries, but when we go to the Burma curries, Burma cuisine, they call like a mohinga. It is the curry which is making have the banana stems in the curries. But anyway, the Burmese cuisine is often have it in the Burmese community. Sometimes Thai people who wanted to try or other foodies also go there, but most of the people who just kind of get used to their own food, they comfort food. They also have plenty of food. They said in Phuket that they wanted to go to. So a lot of Thai people are not going to the Burmese food, but I would say foodies will go. They are not really they are quite unique. One of the dishes is quite unique, and I never seen it in other Thai cuisine. They call the tea leaf salad.
Oh, yeah. I had that in New Zealand where
Oh,
there's a Burmese community there, and I had the tea leaf salad, and I was a little skeptical. It is delicious.
yes, yeah, it is so delicious. I never tried that anywhere else. I mean, I tried it in the Burmese cuisine, but none of Thai restaurant ever do it. And so I bring some of the friends actually to the Burmese place where we also bring our customers. And my friends don't like it at the first time, but then when they have another bite, they get like, "Wow, this is great." They said like, it's like, oh, wish is like a mom and dad and uncle should have opened the mind and tried more because it's delicious.
Yeah. Well, it sounds to me like someone needs to find a way to integrate tea leaf salad into Thai cuisine because it sounds like it's been a little bit slow for Burmese cuisine to integrate itself into Thai cuisine. So it's going to come. I know it will. It always does
Yes.
when you have a new population coming in. These ingredients start cross pollinating with other ethnic cuisines, and Burmese is certainly going to do that at some point in Phuket, I think.
Yes, yes. And then one thing is the Burmese community, they are kind of like a living in one certain area. And so this is a big Burmese group. And then they lived here. And then if you're walking around, for example, like about 400 meters, it's gonna be like a Chinese community.
Mm.
So most of the Thai Chinese mostly go to like the Chinese community, not really walk here to eat at the Burmese place.
Okay.
But to be honest, I have to admit that they are the very important group in Phuket, and they are the big group in Phuket now, which is the lovely people, I would say, lovely people, and also like a honestly working honest and go along very well with the local in Phuket.
I did want to ask you about some specific dishes, if we could, because um, this one that popped up as I was doing my research called, and again, forgive my pronunciation. Obviously, I don't speak Thai, but Kanam Jin, which is often served for breakfast. But I think North Americans will find the ingredients kind of unusual for a breakfast dish. What can you tell me about Kanam Jin?
Khanom jin is a rice noodle, and we often serve with many types of the curries. So there is some curry that we add is a coconut curry, which is got a bit like a fish in, and so it's a flavor. It's like coconutty flavor, a bit of spicy, and so like a sweet at the end. But another one that also served with this khanom jin is the fermented uh stomach fish curry.
Okay.
Um, it's kind of like a salty, but we don't really have the stomach fish meat in it. It's just use a flavor. But anyway, when we mix these two together and we eat it for breakfast, we eat with lots of vegetable. And so when you go for Khanom Jean restaurant, which is often served for the breakfast, they will have many pot of the curries, and you pick which one you want to add on top of your noodles. And then they will come with a big bowl of the vegetables. You have the noodle, and then you have the vegetables. Sometimes it's also we add like a hard-boiled eggs and fried chicken. Yeah, so that is our breakfast, Brent.
So many choices. I love the idea of picking your own curry and adding your own stuff on the top. It sounds like so much fun. And you could have so much variety. So you could have this dish, Khanom Jean, every day and it be completely different depending on what you pick.
Yes, in other part around Thailand, they also eat Khanom Jean, the curries, same curries, but if they make it in a different part of Thailand, will make it like a little different flavors. Some like in Phuket, we make it more sweeter. But for some people who don't like to eat like the spicy for the curry, they also have another one they call the sweet curry. We also have the peanut in it with like a coconut milk in it. But yeah, it's very common breakfast here in Phuket actually. And but my hometown we have it for lunch mostly though.
Okay, perfect. What about the roti Thai pancakes? Do you guys have those on your food tour, the chef's tour?
Yes, we do. Our chef tour, we try to take our customers, take the people to a different cultures who melting in Phuket pot. So the roti is very popular among the Muslim community, which is they mostly also have it for breakfast. Some of the roti place even got the Michelin. It's a Michelin du Gourmand, which is very good food and also very reasonable price.
Right.
Which is they were, and they are having the roti, which is a the roti. They have the wheat flour again the wheat flour here, and then they have a bit mixed with some of the butter, and then they fry, and they have the fried eggs on top, like a runny egg yolk on top, but you can go without it. And then the curry, the curry is they having is could be like a beef curry or the matsaman curry, and then eat it with the roti. Yeah, this one is very famous breakfast menu here.
Let's talk about my favorite topic, which is dessert. What kind of dessert? What kind of dessert do you give your customers at Chef's Tour?
Well, if you're come to Phuket, you have to try this dessert. It's called o eo.
OEO.
Again, please. O eo.
OEO.
That's cute.
I'm doing my best.
That's cute. That's very good.
I'm trying, Nam. At least give me credit for trying.
Yes, that's good. That's good. You did very well. OL is a very typical dessert in Phuket. It actually is a jelly that it's making from the seed of the plant. We call that fruit is OL as well. It's the same family with fig. So if you imagine, it's the seed is look like a sesame seed.
Mm.
So it looks similar like that, but it's brown color. And so when they make these oil, they soak the seed in water, and then the seed will producing some of the sap. When people make it here, if they want a good quantity, they add the banana sap in it, and then they heat it up. And after it's cooled down, it will become a jelly.
So that kind of thickens it up. That makes it thick. So you don't need to use like gelatin or something like that to thicken it up. It's a naturally occurring from this seed.
Exactly, exactly. So this one, when we serve here, because the Phuket is very hot, hot and very hot, only two weather here, only two seasons. Um, so this one we serve with the ice, and which is give it like a very refreshing. So the one that we have here, which I find it the most refreshing one, is they serve with the yuzu syrup, yuzu Brent, yuzu yuzu syrup and a bit of honey.
Mm.
But it's like I would say, if you come to Phuket, you have to try these because of if you go around Thailand, go to other part of Thailand, you say to the locals that, I want to try oat ale. I would say 70% of people around Thailand not know this one because it's very, very typical Phuket
Oh,
thing.
it's a localized dish. I love
Yeah.
shaved ice. In the States, we had something called that they called Italian ice, which is a similar thing, and it's okay, but it's a lot of times it's made with chemical syrups, not natural syrups.
Ah.
But then we went to Hawaii and they make shave ice and they use a lot of them use like real fruit, pureed or into jams or jellies. And it sounds similar to what you're talking about, OEO, there. And,
Ah.
made fresh and made with real ingredients, not high fructose corn syrup and flavorings and colorings that aren't natural. This is something that I really want to try. And it sounds like you got to go to Phuket if you want to get it.
Yes, please come on my tour. I will take you one of the best OL one in Phuket.
When I go to a Thai restaurant, I always get a Thai beer. Is that what we would normally drink when we come to Phuket? Do we drink beer or is there other stuff that we would be drinking for a nice evening?
Yeah, to be honest, in Phuket, there are a lot of people usually will drink beers. As Phuket is a very small province, very small island, so they don't really have like a factory or sort of stuff. So mostly beer is the options where locals, even the locals, like people here, like the young people also drink the beer as well. It's refreshing. But when we drink the beer here, we put the ice and then we put the beer in. So we have
Oh,
the ice with the beer.
I've never heard of such a thing. Wow, crazy. Um, it's hot there. The ice must melt. Does it water down the beer too much?
It's cold.
It's cold. It's very diplomatic of you, Nam. Um, the last thing I wanted to ask you about, Nam, is everyone, when they think about Phuket and when they go to Phuket, the thing that they think about initially is the beaches. And Phuket has grown so exponentially in the last few decades because of the beaches and the tourism. And there's these big resorts. And I'm just wondering, when you're on these beaches, is there anything interesting as far as food goes? I mean, the beaches, we know they're gorgeous, and you lay out there and
Mm.
you see the gorgeous sand and the water and the weather is nice and warm and you go in and you take a dip and it's all wonderful. But I'm wondering from a food standpoint, if we're on the beaches, is there anything that we can get that's of any interest at all, or is it all just resort food?
Around the beach is mostly are the tourist area, mostly the beaches area. But also you can find a very fresh seafood around the beach. In somewhere where you can go to somewhere, for example, like in the Rawai Seafood Market, there's also a local seafood place on the beach. Well, not exactly on the beach, but it's like on the Rawai Beach area where you can buy the fresh seafood. You can go to the market, you buy the seafood, you pick your own seafood, and then you bring to the restaurant opposite side, and then they will cook for you. They show you the menu, or you can cook whatever you want it to be done. So I think the food, like a local style, like the authentic one, is most gonna be in Phuket Old Town, but the fresh seafood is gonna be around like the beach area. Yeah, which is fun actually. Go to the market, pick your own seafood, and then go to the restaurant. They cook for you. My favorite part is to eat it though.
That's crazy, though, that you bring the seafood to the restaurant and they cook it for you. That is amazing. I mean, how much fresh could you get it? You couldn't get it any fresher than that, I don't think.
You cannot get any fresher. They're still talking. Eat me, eat me.
Well, Nam from a Chef's Tour, we'll have a link to the website in the show notes so that people can get with you and take a tour with you. And I highly recommend that everyone does that because just from talking to you, you're a extremely knowledgeable and fun person. And it says to me, get away from the beaches. You know, you're gonna get some fresh seafood at the beaches, but go into the city and discover some of these interesting places because, boy, there are so many great places that you can go to and so many different cuisines that you can try when you come to Phuket. So again, Nam from a Chef's Tour, thank you so much. This has been a delightful conversation. I appreciate you being on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you, Brent. Thank you very much. Very happy and very nice to talk with you.
Okay, that's Nam from A Chef's Tour. You can find out more about her tour of Phuket at achefstour.com. How much fun would it be to take a tour with Nam? Love that talk. And if you want to hear more from my conversation, become a member of my Substack. There, Nam tells me about how she learned English and whether you can get around in Thailand as an English-only speaker. Plus, she tells me about the people called Baba in Phuket. It's a fascinating story, and you can hear that at destinationeatdrink.substack.com. Okay, that's it for this week. Next week, we are in Rhode Island for a drink called a cabinet. Providence's Little Italy and Wiener Hell. Don't miss that. Until then, there's tons of foodie travel at destinationeatdrink.com. I just posted a story about the only tea plantations in all of Europe. You can see that and read about it at destinationeatdrink.com/blog. I also posted a brand new video. This one is from my favorite city in Belgium, Ghent. Amazing food there, including warming soups, a giant, and I mean a giant, platter of fries, and a sweet treat called a nose. Watch that by clicking on the video tab at destinationeatdrink.com or go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/@destinationeatdrink946. And you can check out my foodie travel guide ebooks. They're all at buymeacoffee.com/destinationeatdrink. Destination Eat Drink is distributed by the Radio Misfits Podcast Network and Ed Silla. Thanks, Ed. I'm Brent Peterson, and I'll see you down the road.
Join us next week for another culinary adventure on Destination Eat Drink, a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.